everyone, and welcome to What the What with Sam. I am Sam, and thank you so much for being here. Today's topic that we're going to dive into is all about numerology for the year 2025. Now, if you don't know anything about numerology, that's okay. We're going to take it slow with you. But it's a great topic to find out where you are at the beginning of the year so that you know what you need to work on for the rest of the year. So stay with us and we will knock that right out. So welcome everyone. If this is your first time coming into What the What, again, I am Sam and I am here to help you find out what is going on with different topics. And like I said, today's topic is numerology of 2025. Now, before I start, I want to talk to you guys a little bit. I told you we were going to talk about a few products and how they work holistically. So, before we go too far, I want to talk to you guys a bit about this water bottle. So, I got this really cool crystal water bottle from Amazon, and I will put the link below. This one you can see I've already had some out of it. It is an amethyst crystal, and what that means is that this particular crystal is supposed to help with your health. And you charge it, and by charging it, if you've never done a crystal before, what you're going to do is this bottom piece unscrews and the crystal comes into the bottom. You hold that crystal either in both hands or up to your head. And the reason why you go up to your head is because that's where your pineal gland is in your brain. And your pineal gland helps with a lot of meditation processes. We will get into that in another video. But I wanted to show you guys this water bottle. It did come with the sleeve. Again, I got mine on Amazon. It was relatively inexpensive. I did charge it, and I filled it with my mineral water that I've talked about before in previous videos. So I want to see if this is going to help with any of my issues. I've stated before, I am on disability. I have Meniere's disease, which is an inner ear disease that affects your balance. And I also have secondary progressive MS. Not to mention I'm missing a vertebrae in my neck. So if my head rolls off, you know why. But I figured I would just test it out and tell you guys what I think. If you guys, there are other crystals available for different tasks. And you can read all about it on Amazon. Great water bottle. It's got some weight to it. I actually passed this off to one of my family members, and the first thing they said was, wow, that's way heavier than I thought. And I was like, duh, there's a crystal in it. It's a rock. What did you expect, right? But I'll keep you posted. I do really like it so far. So we'll get into that. But let's get back into the numerology thing, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the year 2025 and break it down. Really easy math. I'm not a math person. If you want to talk about math, you need to call my brother because he's the math guy. But even I can do this, okay? So 2025, what you're going to do is you're going to break it down into its individual numbers. So you have 2025, and you add each individual number together to get 9, okay? So what that means is, first of all, 9, there are no double digits in numerology. It's all single digits. So once you get past 9, it doesn't go to 10, it goes back to 1. So with 9 is the end of a sequence, and that's important because it's telling us that we need to wrap up anything that's happened in the last 9 years of our lives and then move forward into the next sequence, okay? It means that it's a time for a reflection. It's a time for you to go through the past 9 years and kind of pick out all the things that were really important, and then learn from mistakes and experiences, and any hostility, any negativity, you need to let it go. And to give you kind of an anecdote, I absolutely love this. Years and years and years ago, there was a TV show called Dharma and Greg. And when I saw this episode, I thought that is just genius, how they did this. So what they did was they would come up to someone else in their circle, their social circle, their families, whatever. And they would sit down together and they would say, oh, when I borrowed your sweater and I said that I lost it, I actually ruined it. And so I need to let that go. And the other person would say, oh, okay, all right. And so they put it in a bubble and they blew it away so that they could start off the next year without any of that negativity boggling them down. And I just thought that was a fabulous, fabulous way to talk about it. And so if you haven't seen Dharma and Greg, it's great for us hippies. It's just wonderful. But I'll let you guys deal with that. So you need to let go of all that negativity, and you need to start eliminating your distractions that's keeping you from manifesting what you really want out of life. So those are a couple things that 2025 signify for us. Now, there are some websites that I've found that kind of go into a little bit more in-depth items regarding the 2025 calendar based on your personal numbers. They tell you how to get those numbers, break it down really easy. And once you find your life path number, then it's there every year. And all you have to do is go in every year and find your life path number and the number of the year and figure out kind of where you need to go with your flow. And, I have an 8 for my life path number. So what I would do is I would go onto the websites for numerology for 2025 and I would look up life path number 8 in year 2025, and it's going to tell me what I need to personally focus on myself. But we are going to move forward a little bit just to keep it kind of generalized for you guys to give you, I know it's a lot of reading and maybe people don't have time for that. So we're just going to talk about the year pertaining to the general, okay? The number 9 kind of gives you some permissions here. It gives you the permission to be selfish, which is odd when you talk about, your vibe and all of that stuff. But it does give you that permission to be a bit selfish. And we'll talk about that in a second, so stay with me. But it also gives you permission to let go of all of those things that are keeping you tense and your vibration down and all of those things. So, for example, if you are not happy in any relationship, and this goes with not just your personal relationships, but your work relationships, your work environment, those types of things, if you're not happy with those, this year you are given permission to let those go. I've had several jobs over my many years, and there's such a difference in walking into a place that you really enjoy being and one that takes your energy from you. You go home and you have no energy left, you have nothing left to give, and your family suffers for it, and so do you, health-wise. Stress is not good, anxiety is not good, depression, not good. So, my advice, and again, not a professional, but when it comes to the numerology of it, is if you're in one of those predicaments with work, maybe it's time for you to sit down and focus, do some meditation, and try to see where you want to be, and then this year make those steps to get there. I'm not saying walk into your job and say, oh, you're sucking my vibe, dude, and I got to get out of here. Find something before you leave a job. I've always told my children that, and see where that takes you. You may be 100% happier. You may have found your dream job. You just never know, but you got to put yourself out there. If you don't risk, then there are no benefits. You will be stuck in the same cycle that you're in right now. And who wants that? Now, relationship-wise, this goes too. If you are in a relationship where you are giving and giving and giving and giving, I have been that person, and you're not getting much back, and you're not content and happy and looking forward to another day with this person, then maybe you need to reevaluate those relationships. And this goes for your friends as well. If there is somebody in your social circle that is zapping that energy, maybe you need to refocus and make some decisions. It's okay to be selfish this year in those regards. And that's where your vibe is going to start increasing, and you're going to change. You're going to see so many other opportunities. And here's the reason. When you have negative energy, you attract negative energy. And when you have positive energy, you attract positive energy. So all those good things that are waiting for you, you are pulling them off, kind of like a magnet, repelling it because of the negative energy in your life. And the only way that you're going to get the positives is to be in a positive place. And everything, nature, relationships, work, children, everything plays a part in that. We are all connected to everything because we are just energy. Okay, the number 9 also gives you a chance to reinvent yourself. So if you know that the person that you are is not who you want to be, this is the year to make changes to be that person. If you want to be a person who helps others, then start helping people. And if you want to be a scientist, or an astronaut, you need to start making those choices that lead you to your goals. And that's how you're going to achieve those goals. So all about reinvention, letting things go. 2025 in a global standpoint, where is this going to take us? There's a couple other numbers that are involved in this. And I'm going to run through it. This year we have a master year and we have an angelic year. And the master year number is 11, so 1-1, right? And I know I said there's no duality with the numbers, there's no double digits type of thing, but this is more going off of zodiac type of, what houses we're in. Okay, so that's why this is a little bit different. That does play a bit into this. The master year number of 11 is our path of destiny globally. Now, I'm not talking about personal anymore, okay? If you want to know more about your personal stuff, like I said, links are below for you to find out your path and to take that on for your personal stuff. If you're still with me, we're going to talk a little bit about what this means for our country and worldwide. So, our angelic year is also number 11, which is pretty cool. Because, and this is great that, I didn't realize this when I started the channel that we were going into an 11 year. But the number 11 is a universal guide. So what that means is that the messages coming from the universe are coming in more clearly during this next year, which is not only good for us, it's good for us globally, because that means more and more people are going to be questioning things and raising their vibrations and all of that, because that's what's going on right now. That's why you see so many videos on raising your vibration. That's why there's so many videos out there of the new dimension that we're all heading towards. And it's all about those messages that are going out to people, whether they realize it or not. It encourages communities. I mean, how perfect is that? I must have received those messages pretty well. So I hope you are with us and you join our community, because we'll get into the benefits of all that later. But it's so great, build your communities. And I don't just mean YouTube. I'm talking about your friendship communities. Your generosity may take you out into helping others through Habitat for Humanity. That's a community in and of itself. So any of those communities, that's what this year is about, is building those and helping people and helping yourself through your vibrations. So another thing with the angelic year of being 11 is that it pulls into question your patterns. And I'm hoping that this does happen globally, because let's face it, our patterns for the last few years have been horrific. I mean, there's always stuff going on in the Middle East. There's always things that are taking us down a bad avenue with the sex trafficking and the drugs and all of that stuff. So hopefully with the messages that are coming out, and I'm not one to make predictions, there are several people out there making predictions about 2025. Totally encourage you to look into that. But as I said when I started this channel, I'm going to give you the unadulterated truth. And so that way you can kind of pick and choose your people who are giving these predictions, and you can say, okay, this person's probably just doing it for the likes. Whereas this person, that actually makes sense. Okay? So number 11 is pretty cool in the fact that it's 2 ones, right? And 2 ones reflect each other, right? If you put 11, a 1 and a 1, it's like they're looking in the mirror. And that's what it's telling us to do, is to reflect. And globally, that's what we need to do, whether it has to do with climate change, whether it has to do with world leaders. We need to reflect on the choices that we've made so that going forward into the next sequence, we make better decisions. And we will find that here out in America with the recent decision of putting Donald Trump back into office. Was that a good decision? Was it a bad decision? This year we need to really reflect on what we're really wanting for our government. And maybe that'll help us make our choices in the future. Not to say that it's a bad choice, a good choice. I have a whole different thing going on there. So stay tuned for that video. Okay, so 2025 also with the angelic year of 11. 11, it tells us that we're going to socially be more sensitive to others. So it's going to hit us harder when we see homeless people, or people that are struggling, or people that are in need of something that there's no service for. So be aware of that, because I think that's really going to steer us into a different future. Just like with the California fires, everybody's really focused on that. My heart goes out to those people. It's devastating what's going on down there. But it does make us more sensitive to things and people in those situations. And, how can we help? What can we do? Whether it's giving donations or time, they will have to rebuild, those types of things. They may need a place to stay if you're willing to do stuff like that. 2 ones also represent a balance. So just like Libra has to have a balance, the year 2025 with the angelic year of 11 has to have a balance. And so we're going to see a lot of ups and downs, I think, to create that balance. And so it'll be interesting globally to see how we deal with things like the global warming and issues with the different faiths at war. And I'm really excited about this year, guys. I think it's going to be great. I think we are going to start seeing some changes that are really going to be positive going into that next sequence. So excited. For the conclusion of this video, I'm just going to say, if you're interested, again, I am going to leave those links into the video where you can find out more about you and going forward. Also, I'm going to say, keep an eye out for different ways that you can make a difference, whether it is with global or whether it's with communities or anything. You know, and you can start by liking and subscribing and leaving me a comment about what you guys want to see this next year and tackling what topics. What do we need to talk about as a community? You know, let's put that out there and let's get busy. Let's get cracking, because we've got 11 months left. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video on What the What. Have a good one.